Hello, lovely people. Today we will be talking about how to cure depression slash anxiety slash other types of issues that you might be having. First of all, a disclaimer, I'm not any type of medical professional, and all of this information should be used with your own discretion, but I will be sharing some tips on how to get better if you're not feeling very well right now. And from my own experience and own observations throughout my life, I do think these do work. But with everything I say and with everything anyone else says, please always use your own judgment first and make your own choices whether you think something is something you want to go with or trust or not. Trust your own intuition and judgment and thinking. And that is actually one thing that is very important just with talking about this topic, because it is often, I think, the reason why people fall into these traps, if you could call them that, fall into these conditions, or even when it doesn't go so far to become an actual diagnosable disorder. People giving their own power away, their own power and right to discern things that can result in a lot of mental health issues and emotional issues, which are those things that are at the core of such conditions such as depression or anxiety, for example. I believe that all of these so-called mental disorders stem from emotional issues that we have, which again stem from these bad beliefs and ideas that we have, yet we often they go unnoticed because we're so good at avoiding and hiding them. And even though somewhere inside of us we do know what these things are and what's causing them consciously, if we get into the pattern of ignoring them or trying to avoid them or trying to think about something else, or if we fall into these negative thought patterns where you just can't seem to think clearly, it can be hard to believe or hard to think that you do know, that you have all the tools to help yourself if you just believe so. It's really important to realize, no matter where you are in your life, the power of your own being and your own right to make your own decisions. And I suggest that you start exercising that right now, starting from this moment on. And if you feel like you want to use any of these exercises that I'm going to share, please do so, but in no way you have to do this. You can find a lot of stuff online on how to, get better by exercising, eating the right diet, and all that kind of stuff. And all of that is very important. It's all going to help you a lot, because those things really help balance out your emotions and your moods, and they help you to think clearer and feel better in your body, which is very, very important. And I don't want to dismiss the power of those things, but right now we're going to delve into the other side of things, which is, I think, at the core of everything. Because yeah, sure, it's good to exercise, but how the hell are you going to exercise if you don't even have the energy to do that? Or if you have a stupid belief, but yet you do believe that you can't do that, or you don't have the energy to do that, or whatever. So I think no matter what you're doing, what your problem is, I think this thing is always the most important. It is our beliefs and our mindset and attitude towards things that is always, it's always at the core. And it's always where you do have to eventually dive into if you do want to actually clear these things out of your life instead of just putting band-aids over it. The first exercise is whenever you have these unpleasant emotional states, which when you're in a very negative pattern, they can actually be sometimes hard to detect because they can get so bad, I'm using this word but don't take it too seriously, that you don't even know what you're feeling because you get so used to it. I remember I was in such a panicky state all the time, so stressed out that I didn't even feel stressed or feel anxious because that was my normal, and I didn't remember how it used to feel to just be relaxed or to feel gratitude or like how to feel at peace. It's good to get into the habit of asking yourself, okay, for example, if you have anxiety and are getting anxious over something that hasn't even happened, it's good to ask the question of, okay, if this thing would happen, how would I feel? And then you let that emotional state just take over your body, do whatever it's going to do, and just sit there and let it run its course until it eventually disappears. A lot of these problems arise because we actually avoid these emotional states that our beliefs or thoughts create. And sometimes when we have a thought like that, like a fearful thought, which is just the normal human mind doing its thing, you know, sometimes we have these stupid ideas of like, what if this happened, or what if I'm a bad person, or whatever. And that's fine, that's normal life. But what you do have to be able to do is just to let those things come and go naturally as they do, and trust that everything will be okay. Problems only arise if you judge that thought and then start avoiding that instead. Because those are natural thoughts and they trigger these emotional states in us, and you have to let those emotions do their thing, and they will go away. And a lot of this has to do with just letting things come and go and be as they are, and that's the ultimate goal of all of these things that I'm going to share with you, is just to be able to let go of this need to control things and be in trust and at peace with life, and trust that everything is okay, and you can always be happy no matter what happens in your life. And it really doesn't matter what it is. You can do this. I know you can do it. But if you are in a very negative state, this might feel like a very, a goal that's very far away. But I can promise you it's not, okay? You will get there if you choose to do this. And if you have the intention. Okay. That's one very good thing that already will help you a lot. Just this exercise and habit is very important, that you start doing this so that you stop being afraid of your own thoughts and your own emotions, and just start accepting those as they come and go, and you see it's fine to let them do that. That way all of that horrible mind chatter will start fading away and getting quieter and quieter, and you will be more at peace. After you start doing that and clearing all these fears that you have, you will have more capacity capacity to actually go through these beliefs that are behind these fears that you do have, and actually ask yourself, why am I afraid of this thing? Or what is the belief that is bringing this thing forth? Why do I believe this thing? Why do I think this would happen? Whatever your situation is, go to the belief behind that belief. For example, if you're afraid of, let's say you're afraid of presentations, it's not just that you're afraid of giving presentations. You might be afraid of making a mistake, for example, or you might be afraid of making a mistake in front of people, and you might be afraid that people judge you for making a mistake, and that might come from some experience in your life, or a series of events or experiences and which you've used to build this network of beliefs that you have about yourself. And it's very important to start understanding these beliefs or fears that you have about yourself, and they're always about yourself. They're never about anything else but yourself. Often these core beliefs, that you could call them, where all of these other beliefs sort of sprout out from, they're often things such as believe in worthlessness, that you are worthless, or that you're unlovable, or that you're helpless, or a fear of abandonment, things like this, things of that nature. It's very important that you actually get to the heart of the problem, instead of just, it's very good and important to do all of this more surface level stuff and to clear those out, but if you don't fix the actual problem that's causing all these things, like causing these bubbles to bubble, go up and on the surface, and you're chasing the bubbles, trying to pop them. It's a bad metaphor, I'm sorry. You might be going around chasing those bubbles, trying to pop them. The bubbles will still keep coming up because they're not the root cause of it. It's very important that you find out what your root cause for these feelings and emotions and thoughts and fears and insecurities is, because only then can you actually heal that. First, experience that thing and then start changing that belief. But it's very important that you don't only go until this point and then stop, or keep repeating this step, because at some point you won't have much more things to clear. You always will if you're afraid that there might be. So don't be afraid. Go into this thing with trust and love. And I know it can be very hard when you're not used to doing that, when you're not used to trusting yourself. It can be horrible. It can be so scary. But it's important. It's crucial that you just decide. And it is a choice and it's a decision. And this is something very important for you to remember, that you can always choose. You can always choose what you want to experience and how you want to see things. And everyone, and I mean everyone, is capable of doing these things. It's not just me, it's not just whoever you see that they're so happy and full of joy and you're like, how the fuck are they doing that? Or what's wrong with them? Or I can't do that. You can do that. I promise you. You can do it, but you have to believe that you can do it. And that is the fucking catch that you have to realize. You have to believe in yourself, but that is nothing else but a choice. If you don't fix yourself, if we people don't fix ourselves first, none of the other problems are gonna go anywhere, and they don't really matter, because what matters is how you feel and how you feel in your own skin. All the wars, all the political stuff that's going on, everything is caused by people's own problems. And so if you don't change the way people feel and cure all of the insecurities and fears that we have, things are never gonna change. That is the most important thing to do, and I promise you, you can do it. And I'll see you in my next video, and I will share some more tips and take a more positive, not that this isn't positive, you have to go through all of this shit to get to the good stuff. But even going through this shit, it's kind of fun. It's life, it's part of life, and it's not bad. And wherever you are right now, it's okay. Please understand that it's okay and you can get better, but you have to believe in yourself and set the intention of where you want to be, and then start being that person. The next video I will talk about some more stuff relating to this. Awesome, and I'll see you in my next video. I love you all so much, and thank you for watching this video if you did. If you have any comments or ideas or suggestions or anything, or questions, please leave them in the comment box down below. I'm becoming such a YouTuber, and